It was one of those nights when rain blurred the city lights, when the world seemed too busy to notice a soul stranded in the dark. Jacob, a single dad working double shifts at a mechanic shop, was driving home after another exhausting day. His hands were rough from work, his eyes heavy with worried bills, rent, and his daughter, Lily, who waited at home with her homework and that hopeful smile she always wore just for him. He never thought that one stoplight, one moment of compassion, would change his life forever. As he turned onto the deserted street near the old bus stop, his headlights caught a figure sitting in the rain. A girl, drenched, trembling, and motionless, sat slumped against the metal bench. For a second, Jacob thought she was sleeping. But when the light hit her face, pale and weary, he saw her lips move. "Please, don't leave me here," she whispered, her voice so weak it barely reached him through the rain. Something in that voice hit him hard, a sound of pure desperation. He parked, grabbed his jacket, and rushed to her. The closer he got, the clearer her condition became. Her legs weren't moving. She wasn't just cold or lost, she was paralyzed. Jacob crouched beside her. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. What happened? Are you alone?" Her eyes filled with tears. I have nowhere to go. They threw me out." Jacob didn't know who they were, but he could tell she wasn't lying. Her clothes were torn, her suitcase half open beside her, with just a few old clothes and a photo of an elderly woman. Something inside him, maybe that part of him that remembered what it felt like to be helpless, made his decision for him. "Come with me," he said softly. "You shouldn't be out here." She hesitated, as if no one had ever said those words to her before. Finally, she nodded. Jacob lifted her gently, surprised at how light she was, and carried her to his old truck. She didn't speak during the ride, only held her hands together tightly, as if afraid he'd change his mind. When they reached his small, worn-down home, Lily came running to the door. "Dad. You're home, who's that?" Jacob smiled faintly. "Someone who needs our help." Lily, just 12 but with a heart far bigger than her years, didn't question him. She brought a blanket, helped her father settle the girl on the couch, and warmed a bowl of soup. The girl's name, they learned, was Emma. She'd lost her parents years ago and had been living with relatives who treated her like a burden after an accident left her unable to walk. That night, she cried softly as she ate, and Jacob turned away so she wouldn't see the emotion in his eyes. Over the next few weeks, the small house grew warmer, not just from the heater, but from something invisible. Emma started smiling again, especially when Lily made her laugh. Jacob built a small ramp at the door, helped her move around, and made sure she had everything she needed. But it wasn't easy. Money was tight, and people whispered, calling him foolish for taking in a stranger. He ignored them. Every time he saw Emma's eyes light up when Lily showed her drawings, he knew he'd done the right thing. Still, Emma struggled with guilt. "You've already done too much," she told Jacob one night. "I'm just another responsibility." Jacob looked at her gently. "You're not a responsibility, Emma. You're family now. You matter." That simple sentence broke her. For the first time, she felt seen, not for her wheelchair, not for her pain, but for who she was. But just when life began to feel stable, tragedy struck again. Jacob's shop laid off workers, and he lost his job. Bills piled up, and he started skipping meals to feed the girls. One night, when he thought they were asleep, Emma overheard him talking quietly to himself, the hopelessness in his voice. "I just wish I could give them a better life," he said, looking at the old photo of his late wife. "I promised you I'd make things right." Emma couldn't sleep that night. She decided to do something, not for herself, but for him. The next morning, she found an old laptop and started searching for remote work she could do despite her condition. She had a good mind for writing and design, something she'd learned during her long hospital stays. Within days, she found small freelance jobs, designing posters, writing short content, and she didn't tell Jacob until she'd earned her first payment. When she handed him the envelope of cash, Jacob was stunned. "Emma, where did you?" "I'm not helpless, Jacob," she said proudly. "You gave me a home. Let me help keep it." From that day, the three of them became more than just survivors, they became a team. Lily helped with drawings, Emma handled the computer, and Jacob picked up small repair jobs. Slowly, life began to rebuild itself. Months later, Emma was invited to share her story on a local radio show, how a stranger had taken her in and changed her life. Her voice trembled as she spoke. When I was left at that bus stop, I thought my story was over. But one man's kindness gave it a new beginning. He didn't see a broken girl, he saw a person worth saving. The host asked if she had a message for anyone listening. Emma smiled through tears. Don't walk past someone who needs help. Sometimes, you're not just saving them, they might be saving you too. After the interview aired, people from all over reached out to Jacob. Donations came, job offers, and messages of gratitude for his compassion. He didn't do it for attention, but life had rewarded him in ways he never imagined. A year later, on a bright spring morning, Jacob watched as Emma wheeled herself to the porch, sunlight dancing on her hair. She had regained partial movement in her legs through therapy, something he helped her afford with the donations. Lily was in the yard, laughing. Jacob smiled, whispering to himself, "That night, I thought I was rescuing her, but maybe she was the one rescuing me." And for the first time in years, he felt peace, because sometimes the greatest miracles begin not with money or power, but with 3 simple words spoken on a rainy night: "Come with me."